Hey everybody, today is Friday, March the 24th. I'm Ryan Hill.
I'm John Galantis.
You're listening to Clearview Today with Dr. Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. You can find us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. If you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, send us a text at 252-582-5028, or you can email us at contact@clearviewtodayshow.com.
That's right, and you guys can help us keep the conversation going by supporting this podcast, sharing it online, liking it, and giving us a good review on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere that you get your podcasting content from. Man, that is hard to say today. We're going to leave a link in the description of this podcast so you can do just that. But before anything else happens, we got to read the verse of the day.
We got to.
You want to do it?
Verse of the day today comes from Colossians chapter 1, verse 16. For by him all things were created that are in heaven and that are on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created through him and for him.
You know, the entire universe, everything that exists was made by Jesus for the purpose of declaring his supremacy. So everything in all of creation ranks below him in authority and in power and in glory. Everything is below him. So, you know, when he returns, that's the only response that we have, is that every knee is going to bow and every tongue is going to confess that he's Lord, right, to the glory of God the Father. That's what this is saying, is that everything was created by him, so it's his.
Yeah.
Everything.
Absolutely. And just like saying Jesus is Lord, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've yielded your life
That's right.
to his will. It doesn't.
that's right.
Just affirming that truth vocally doesn't reflect a heart change.
Yeah.
What's required is recognizing this truth and submitting your life to the authority of Jesus Christ.
That's right. You know, speaking of affirming truths vocally, David, I wanted to tell you, buddy, I love your haircut.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I saw you
does
this
look
morning. I
nice.
was like, that is fresh.
Yeah.
That is sharp. It is a crisp haircut.
Where'd you get it?
It's a long story.
Really?
It's a long story.
Well,
Is that the name of
only
a
we
barber
had-
shop, or-
Yeah, if only we had a radio show designed for telling some of the long stories of our lives.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. Well, we
My
do.
story begins in 2020.
Really?
I moved out of my mother's house,
Okay.
and I moved like 2 minutes down the road.
Sure.
So not a big deal.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was moved out, but I was still close enough that there was a level of comfort. Well, here recently I've moved farther out, probably like 15 minutes away.
Sure.
And that has sparked some want to spend time on my mother's side, which is fine.
Right.
Yeah, no problem.
So she's like, hey, I haven't seen you in a little while. Let's go to lunch. It's like, all right, Monday's the only day off, so let me know, when you want to do that. So we go out, we go to lunch, we get George's in Oxford.
Nice.
She's like, your hair needs to be cut. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm going to Wake Forest after we finish here, and I'm going to go get my hair cut.
Sure.
You go to Lady Jane's?
Yeah, I go to Lady Jane's.
Love Lady Jane's.
Yeah.
She does not like that idea.
Why?
Oh.
Because she doesn't like the thought of me driving to Wake Forest to get my hair cut.
That's where you've been getting it cut for years, isn't it?
That doesn't matter.
Don't you normally drive to Wake Forest on a Monday? Like that's not an uncommon
That's a
thing
kind
for
of
you.
normal thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much you're always in Wake Forest. Like, not during the date, but like on a Monday.
Yeah,
That's where
on
you
a
go.
Monday, like I go to
hang
Wake
out.
Forest, I'll go to Barnes & Noble, I'll go get a haircut. Sometimes I'll go to other places, but yeah.
But she doesn't like you driving out there just at night? Was it nighttime?
No, it's just going out to Wake Forest. She doesn't like the thought of it.
Okay.
Oh.
So she's like, I heard there was this local barbershop in Oxford that I
Wait a
think
minute.
you
Wait a minute. Well, I immediately have questions.
should-" Okay.
I heard there was this local. Has
She's
she
never been to the
here or
barbershop?
talked to anybody w's been here?
She don't know nothing about it.
Okay.
She's
That's-
heard that it exists.
She
Red
heard that it
flag number 3.
She heard that it exists, and she was like, I want you to go there and just check it out.
Why? Why?
So we go to this barbershop in
To
Oxford.
save time?
I guess.
Okay.
So we go to this barbershop in Oxford.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, to save time. That's the funny part. We go to this barbershop in Oxford. I get my hair cut.
Sure.
It was a fine experience. Very nice people. Conversation was good. Like I said, nice people.
Right.
I get out of the chair. I go to where I can see like in a mirror.
Right.
And there's very obviously a big problem.
Oh.
There's like
Oh no.
there's like splotches of hair like sticking out of the side.
Oh, no.
And then it's not faded, so it's like all the way up, and then it's just normal hair.
Oh, so you got like the bowl cut.
It was bad.
Mm.
So I get in.
We
I
hate
get,
to hear it.
I go back and I'm like, see what you did? See, I listened to you.
To
and
the
this is what-
barber or
no,
to
to
your
my
mom?
mother?
So you left with your hair looking jank?
Yeah, what else am I supposed to do?
Fix it, y'all.
If he did that, I don't think he can fix it.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, fair enough. So you are scolding your mother.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not really scolding. I'm just like, this is why I go to Lady Jane's. And she was like, well, I can fix that. I was like, no, I'm going to just go to Lady Jane's right now. And she's like, no, I think I can fix it. I'm like, I'm going to Lady Jane's.
Let me guess. Hard cut to her trying to fix your hair.
Yep.
I knew. You let her do it.
oh no.
So
Why did you let her do it?
Because she was getting emotional. So I
Emotion over a haircut.
I let her try to fix it, and she makes it like 15 times worse.
Oh no. I'm just amazed that you still
I'm
have
not
hair at
laughing
this
at
point.
you. I'm not laughing at
So
you.
then,
This is just.
at this point,
So I'm sorry. I was laughing. She cut your hair and made it worse.
yes,
Yikes.
Do you have a picture?
no, I don't think so.
Ugh.
But at this point, I'm like, I need to prove to her that this is not good. So I FaceTime John.
Yeah, he FaceTimed me,
Oh no.
and I'm
and
like,
I didn't know Christy was in the room,
Right.
and so she was like, he was like, "What do you think of this haircut?" And I thought, I didn't know what to think.
Does she think that it looks good at this point?
no.
Okay.
So she's
All right. I didn't know if this was like, see what I did? And
he
then,
FaceTimed me and was like, "What do you think of my haircut?" And I was like, Are we playing or are we like for real? He's like, for real. I was like, somebody messed you up. And then he trapped me because Christy was like, "What's wrong with it? Why don't you like it?" And I was like, "Why would you do that, David?"
Yeah.
And then, so anyway,
It's like, here, sit down in this bear trap.
yeah, exactly. So I was like, "No, I mean, I think it looks fine or whatever." And then she said something like, "I have such a bad history of cutting his hair. I did it all the time when he was little and it never looked good." And so I was like, "Christy, why are you surprised?"
Yeah,
So why try
she
now?
thought that this time, and this is my explanation for that. She, all the time I was growing up, thought that the problem was me. So she was like, "Oh, he's grown up now. He's older. He's more mature. Therefore,
I can
he
cut
won't-
hair better."
Yeah, he won't be the problem. The problem was never me."
He's more mature, therefore I am more skilled at cutting hair.
Turns out, not
Not
the
the
case.
case.
So
So you went to Lady Jane's and got it fixed.
Go to Lady Jane's, got it fixed. As soon as I sat down on the chair at Lady Jane's, the lady was like, "Golly, did somebody mess you up?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." She was like, "Just come to me next time." I was like, "I
Trust me,
will."
that's what
Believe
I
me, I
wanted from the
tried.
beginning.
Believe me, I tried.
Dang.
So-
Well, I'm sorry, man. But hey, it looks good now.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Christy, we love you if you're listening.
We love
to
you.
this.
We love you. But
Maybe don't try to cut hair anymore.
Yeah.
or maybe just cut your hair.
Yeah.
Does she cut her own hair?
No.
So
No.
she trusts somebody
won't-
else with that.
Yeah, she won't let anybody touch her hair except for the person she trusts.
Will.
Right. Well,
So
I don't know where to take it from there.
Yeah.
I don't either. That's a hard segue. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, guys, on today's episode, it is Friday, so we're going to bring back lightning round questions on today's episode. Woo!
Yeah, we love lightning round questions.
These are the questions that you guys have submitted to that number that we keep telling you. It's so important. We take those questions and we group them based on subject matter or a theme. So if you don't hear your questions today, we still have them. We do our best to respond to every single text message that comes through. So keep sending those messages in. You may just hear them on a lightning round questions episode. We're going to get Dr. Shah in just a second. But if you have those questions, if you've been sitting on them for a while, send those in to 252-582-5028 or visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com.
Yep.
We'll be back after this.
Hey everyone, my name's Ellie,
and I'm David.
and we want to take a minute and let you know how we can actually serve you as you're listening to Clearview today.
The Bible paints an extraordinary picture of who we are as a church body. The mission of Clearview Church is to lead all people into a life-changing, ever-growing relationship with Jesus Christ. A huge part of leading people is praying for them. A big reason that Christians have unanswered prayers in their life is because they're not praying.
You know, 1 John 5:15 says, "And if we know that he hears us, whatever we ask, we know that we have the petitions that we have asked of him." If you're listening to the Clearview Today show, we want to know how we can pray for you as well.
There's a number of ways that you can get in touch with us at Clearview and share your prayer requests, but the best way is by texting us at 252-582-5028. You can also send us an email at prayer@clearviewbc.org, or you can download the Clearview app on iTunes or Google Play. You know, on that app, there's a dedicated prayer wall that helps us to get to know what's going on in your life, how we can pray for you, and how we can take any necessary steps to get you moving in the right direction.
Thanks for listening. Now let's get back to the show.
Welcome back to Clearview Today with Dr. Abadan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. You can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com, or if you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, send us a text at 252-582-5028.
That's right. And if you're joining us for the first time today, we want to let you know who's talking to you. Dr. Abadan Shah is a PhD in New Testament textual criticism, professor at Carolina University, author, full-time pastor, and the host of today's episode. You can find all his work on his website. That's abadanshah.com.
Dr. Shah, welcome to Friday's episode. Are you ready?
I am ready. I think I am.
Are you
Not
ready?
done. Do you smell?
From the four corners of the earth.
four corners of the earth. We have not done, listen, we have not done lightning round questions.
It's been a minute.
In a little bit.
It's been a minute.
In fact, I can tell you when the last time was if you want to give us some what lightning round questions are.
So lightning round
it didn't take
questions
that long.
for the
3 weeks. Sorry.
That was far less than a minute.
I'm sorry.
Lightning round questions, for those of you who don't know, maybe this is the first time you're tuning in on a Friday to this silliness. Lightning round questions is a collection of listener submitted questions. We tell you guys all the time, texting that number 252-582-5028.
This is why.
We love getting those messages, and we respond to all those messages, but you may not always hear your question immediately on the show. That's because we take them and we group them in groupings that make the most sense, and then we air them on lightning round questions.
Also, some of y'all's questions they're good questions, but it's not questions that we can put at the end. So we got like questions we put at the end, like,
Right.
what's your favorite type of candy, or what? But then some people are like, explain false prophets to me. That's not a question Dr. Shah can answer in like 30 seconds. So
Yeah.
we save them for either to devote full episodes to, or we save them for lightning round questions. Yeah.
right.
But I will say these lightning round questions, we've been having a ton of people who just want to get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we kind of group these. These are more like, they're not
good to-
icebreakers,
they're
but they're
good to
just
know
like,
you.
yeah, who is Dr. Shah?
Oh,
And we're
okay. I'm
going
ready.
to learn more today. We're going to dive in today. So you want me to take the first one? I can take the first one.
You got the first one.
Okay. The first question comes from Charles M.
Charles M.
Charles wants to know,
Okay.
how did you meet your wife?
Oh, great question. So I was working security
Mm-hmm.
at the college where I was studying down in Georgia, in Northeast Georgia, and my co-guard, the guy who was with me on the shift, he was a crazy one. He's one of those. I don't know where he is now, but yeah, he had issues. But anyways, he would do crazy things, like he would follow people
Oh, yeah.
without them knowing.
No, can't do that.
That's not
He
good.
would hide and jump out, and I mean, just weird. And he was just I hate to say, he was a creepy guy.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that sounds a little off-putting.
Yeah, so he came back after one of the rounds in the squad car, and he comes in, he's like, "Yep, found my wife." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Who did you find?" "Oh, she is here. She just got here." I said, "Okay." He said, "Yeah, she's one of those southern types, with their nose up in the air kind of one. I like that kind."
I like that
Now,
kind.
when he said I found my wife, does he mean the girl I intend to make my wife, or was it
Yeah.
his wife? Okay, so it
Yeah.
wasn't his actual wife.
They didn't meet at all. Nothing.
Got you.
So
He
I'm
just
like-
saw her.
Yeah, well, I didn't know he was referring to Nicole.
Oh, this was Nicole.
Yeah, that's what I was
Real
saying.
Georgia peach, the Southern Belle type.
Oh,
I should have
man.
known that's where the story was going.
But she was not really like that. I
Right.
mean, maybe a little bit, but not necessarily like that at all.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, so I'm like, okay, whatever. And then few weeks later, I actually met Nicole. And when we were down in Georgia for the eclipse,
Yep.
we went on the campus and we stood up on the gym steps, right, coming off into the parking lot, headed towards the cafeteria. That's where I met her for the first time.
Yeah, I believe. I could be wrong on this, but I believe the year was 2017. That was the year. And
When
we went to see the eclipse.
I was like,
Eclipse.
no, I don't think that math is
they
right.
met in 2017, Ryan.
No.
No, we went to go see the eclipse in 2017, and Dr. Shah took us down to Toccoa Falls because that was where you could see the total singularity. Like when we were here
Yeah.
in North Carolina, my dad was like, "Yeah, we couldn't really see it," but we were like, "No, we want to see this thing," and
Yeah.
we got to visit your college.
That's right.
So, yeah, we stood on those steps.
That's right. And this was back in 1994. When this guy told me about Nicole, it was in 93. But it was in 94 that in 93 I saw her, but it's in 94 that we met.
Wow.
I saw a video that you had filmed
Yeah.
a long while ago. Maybe we can put this on the YouTube channel if
Sure.
everybody's okay with it. But there was you meeting Nicole in a grocery store. Was that when
In
y'all
Walmart.
met at Walmart? Was that when y'all met for the first time, or
Yeah.
had y'all known each other?
No. We had I had sort of seen her, and I waved at her in the chapel, which was in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And so sort of had some acquaintance, but not really. No conversation had happened. And I was in the broadcast journalism department, so we were preparing for campus preview. So for campus preview, we have videos playing and all this kind of crazy stuff happening. So usually the broadcast department would be tasked with get some videos ready to show our students, our incoming students or these prospective students of how fun it is to be in college here.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were the fun videotaping people. So my friend, I forgot his last name, I think Andy something.
Mm-hmm.
But he and I went to Walmart. He's like, let's go to Walmart. I said, what are we going to do? He said, we're going to put the camera in the buggy, cover it up with some clothes so nobody knows we're doing this. And let's walk around and film Tacoma Falls students.
Yep.
And then ask them what are they doing here and how much fun it is to go shopping.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird that we were filming
Yeah.
people.
I mean, it makes sense, but you're right, because when I saw the video, the reason I saw it was because for y'all's anniversary, you wanted to update it, you wanted to add on to
Yeah.
that, because you had a video that was highlights of yours and Nicole's life together as a
Right.
couple, and the very first clip in that video is you meeting her officially for the first time.
That's right.
And I remember being like, okay, so. The camera is down in the buggy and it's looking out, so it's seeing through like the rails of the buggy. And I remember thinking like, how did he know that this woman he was gonna like set the camera up, film the first time ever meeting her? But it makes sense. You're like, no, we were filming students to ask them.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because now you have on camera the very first time you ever met your wife.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. She had was it John Michael Montgomery? Was that a singer? Who was it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
So she had her that cassette or CD, I can't remember now. It's in the video.
Yep.
And then she was also had the
Here I can
the-
because I know the song.
what the gas treatment, you put in the cars and
Oh, yeah.
to help your car clean up or whatever. I don't know how much is real, how much it works.
Who knows?
Is it Joshua
don't know.
Caddison?
Joshua Caddison is our song.
Beautiful in My Eyes.
That's our song.
That's not the song you were talking about.
No.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I think it is John Michael Montgomery.
Yeah, that's a country singer.
Okay. Okay.
So anyways, so we talked about that and that's
Wow.
how we have it.
That's insane.
That's so special to have that on video.
I'm gonna see if I can find. I'm gonna see if I can find the
amazing.
video. Maybe we can tag it at the end of the episode because
I
I think
love
it's
that.
pretty cool.
I love that.
It's
so
pretty
much.
cool.
Absolutely.
I got one coming in from Lori B. Where did Clearview's name come from? Like what does it mean? Why Clearview Church?
So, well, this is probably the first you will hear it
Okay.
on a big stage,
Right.
I guess.
Right.
But it was my idea.
Mm-hmm.
So how it began with we were going through the core values, mission, vision, statement, and all that stuff. And so time came for us to change the name of the church, right? It was like, okay, it's time to change the name. Not because we're embarrassed of the old name, not because, this is somehow going to change everything because we have a new name.
Right.
No, but we felt like enough has been put into place that now it's time to even have a new name so we can have a new beginning, right?
Yeah.
And so we put it up to the people to come up with some names and genuinely to put to them, hey, what do you think? What do you think? And there were all kinds of weird names, the Our Father's House of Prayer, Genuine Worship, or something like that, Potter's House.
The People for God, Holy Communion, Zion Baptist Church.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is not going well. And then one day I'm just going about my life, my business, and it hits me, Clearview. I'm like, Clearview, yes. Clearview to Christ, Clearview to the gospel, Clearview to doctrine, Clearview to reaching the lost. All that, it's there. I can see it. And so I didn't put my name in there. I just suggested. I said, somebody suggested Clearview. What do you guys think? And they're like, oh, yeah, I like Clearview. I'm like, yeah, let's go for that. So
David just texted me a potential church name is Christians Are Us.
Christians are us.
I figured I'd read that one.
Yeah, so that's when I brought up Clearview. I did some research to see if there are other Clearviews, and there were, but they were not, like nearby here, so that was a good thing because I didn't want to pick a name that for church down the road.
Yeah, right.
That's not what you want.
Right.
And I'm so glad we picked.
Oh,
Clearview.
yes. Oh, yes.
So glad we did.
Well, there's certain words that when you say them, they just invoke emotion.
Yeah.
And they invoke like a reaction. And Clearview has really, it's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's always, to me, it's always seemed very, very soothing, very calming, but also very driven, very focused. Like it's not like harsh and in your face, but it's also like we know where we're headed. We know who we are. We know where we're going.
And I feel that it's Clearview Church. And people always say, it's Clearview Baptist Church. But the name of the institution is Clearview Church, so that people can feel welcome to come in. It's not that we're ashamed of being Baptist, it's that we're secure enough to where we don't have to feel that, number one, we need to justify our existence as a denomination, but also people are welcome. This is where God is being worshipped, and you can come in and you can worship without feeling like you belong or don't belong.
There are some people who get really hung up on that title, that denominational title, or that designation. It's like, oh, you're embarrassed of that. I see y'all have taken that out. And when somebody says that, it's indicative of their understanding of history.
That's exactly right.
Right? Prior to 1800s, were there something Baptist church? Were there something Methodist church? I mean, how were the church designated, right?
Right.
Or 1600? Let's just say 1600. No, there were no designations. It was simply a church. And so we have taken this phenomena for the past 300 years and made it normative, like, oh, you got to have a denomination in there.
Right.
Are you ashamed? Are you embarrassed of being a Baptist? It's like, no, but we're secure enough, as John said, to say we are Clearview Church.
That's right.
Now, go a little further, come inside, and you'll find out, are we Baptist? Are we Southern Baptist? Because that's who we are. And then come even closer and see more about who we believe, because not all Southern Baptists are the same.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, of course, we have the same core doctrines, but then there's a lot of things we do differently. So I'm happy we chose that name.
It's a fantastic name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not trendy either.
Right.
No, it's sort of timeless in a way.
Yeah, because you'll always have those, Mark 11s or those,
Reaver,
numbers.
Ignite,
Right. Like
Spark.
Illuminate Church.
Yeah.
Spawn.
I said Spark, but Spawn.
479. It's named after
Yeah.
some scripture, but in time that style will go away.
Yeah.
Clearview, it can't. How can that go away?
Right. Our next question on today's episode comes from Harold B. And Harold wants to know, did you play sports in school?
I did.
Ooh,
I did. I'm sort of forgotten, but until about a year ago, somebody from my old high school, St. Aloysius High, sent me a message, and he's like, "Man, I remember you. You were so athletic, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Somebody remembered me. I used to play soccer. I used to play cricket. For school, I played soccer. We didn't have a cricket team for the school, as odd as that sounds. We didn't have a cricket team, and cricket is the most popular sport in India.
I was going to ask, was that common with schools in India? Did everyone pretty much have a cricket team?
No, the schools didn't have it. And the reason our school didn't have it, and many schools didn't have it, is because cricket requires so much. A whole day goes to play cricket. Soccer, 2 hours, you're done. Cricket, you can go half a day, all day.
Wow.
Playing a sport. I mean, how are you going to have a school education?
With students,
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I mean,
You
the
just take
entire
the day, I
student
guess.
body, will sign up for cricket because
But you enjoyed playing cricket.
I enjoyed playing cricket, which is more, with neighborhood or a little team here that we put together so we can, get in this tournament.
Yeah.
We never won, but it was pretty good.
Well,
And-
go ahead.
But then soccer,
Uh-huh.
it's an interesting story there. You want to hear this
Yeah,
story?
let's hear it.
Please.
I was really good.
Uh-huh.
I was really good. Not like the best or anything. I was good. I was a go-getter, especially as a goalie. I was really good. And then my dad realized how much time I was wasting just out there running around, not studying.
Oh no.
So, he was a teacher in town at one time. So he knew all those guys, those teachers. So he made a trip to my coach and said, do me a favor. Don't pick him.
No. Dad, why?
Man, wow.
Why you do that?
So tryouts for the new year, and I tried out, And of course, I'm good. I can kick the ball. I can run. I can whatever. And at the end of that, it's like, oh, your name's cut. I'm like, what happened? He said, well, you need to focus on studying more. I think that's where you're gifted more. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
So at that point, you didn't know that your dad had come and have that conversation?
No.
Oh.
And then my teacher, my coach did say, it's like, hey, your dad doesn't want you to waste your time here. You need to go study. You have a bright future. You're gonna waste time over here running around with this ball.
It stinks because I guess technically he was right. Like, like your academic study did pay off, but
because in India at the time and even today, I mean, the future of sports is very bleak.
Really?
I mean, you're struggling with, the economy. You're struggling with, most of those, the athletes need proper nutrition and all that, and where are they going to find that money to do
that's
that?
True.
Yeah,
that's true.
So my dad was doing me a big favor.
Sports was not
now looking at the time, I was like, I cannot believe it because it was so cool to be running out there and have all these people admire me and girls, loving this guy who is such a go-getter, slides and runs and jogs and hops.
Yep.
I'm cut from the team. Dad, how dare you?
Well, this kind of plays perfectly into the next question. Speaking of school stories, Michael R. wants to know, I think we just kind of heard one, but what's your funniest school story?
Oh, gosh. That's funny, but I don't know if I should share that. Which one do you want me to share?
I know a couple of them.
So many good ones.
I think the case of the misplaced is really good.
Oh, okay. So the one John is referring to.
I love
so
this
in
story
India,
so much.
at least in our school, I don't know how it was in every school in India because there's probably hundreds of thousands of them. But our Catholic school, every Tuesday morning, I think it was, we would have PT, is what they would call it, PT, physical training.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would go to our playground, and there was a stage there. And then we would stand in rows in front of the stage, different classes, just a high school. And the PT instructor would be up on the stage with a whistle, and he would blow the whistle, and we had to do the, stretch our arms up, arms down, stretch, whatever. Honestly, that PT doesn't work. It's got nothing to it. It was the weirdest thing,
just
waste of time.
Doing,
Waste of time. How does that really enhance my physique? It doesn't. So anyway, so it was always goofy time. We would do that and then kind of like wait to see where the teacher is looking, and then we just kind of stand around and kind of look around. And
when he ain't looking, just be relaxing. Yeah, I definitely did that too.
Pretty much that's what we did. And so the instructor had a way of saying yes. Every conversation, everything he would say began with, huh.
Which is Hindi for yes?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he would say, so the plan for the day is lunch is delayed by 30 minutes so we can go ahead and get to our classes and get the first period going. So he would always do that.
Even now, hearing it.
So it became comical that students, when they would see him come up to either the microphone or just up there, because there was no microphone in the playground, they would start doing
They like to make fun of him.
Make fun of him. One day he got he was mad, and he was like, "Who said that?" And he started walking. And,
oh no!
And
if the teacher starts moving, it's like big trouble. Like if he yells, that's all right. But if he's active and like moving towards me, like I need to freeze up.
Yeah. So it's like corporal punishment was allowed back in those days. So you would get spanked for that. You get whooped. And so some of us in the back, we see this coming, and so we're looking at this other dude over here. and of course, the teacher bought it, and he went after that one student.
So so the guy who got whooped was not the guy who made fun of him.
Not the culprit.
No, he was just one of those goofy kids, It was like laughing, dancing. It's like,
It was look, he's having fun. Yeah, and it's also like everybody else. So like I imagine like the teacher gets up there, someone goes, everybody starts laughing. He's like, you know what? That's it. And this one guy doesn't stop laughing fast enough, so the teacher just snatches him out.
You're pretty much it. And he got a couple of good whacks on the head or back or shoulder. I don't know
Oh my
what happened. The rest of us are just laughing while this kid is getting in trouble.
There's something.
It's not funny anymore, but it was funny back
Dude,
then.
no, there's something hilarious about somebody getting whooped for something they didn't do.
Yeah.
Like the wrong kid, like he snatches up the wrong kid. I don't know if even in his mind he thinks he actually did it or if he's just like, I just got to whoop somebody. And
Somebody's
you're
gotta be
laughing.
an example.
I mean, at that point, he's like, this is the kid, this is the culprit. It doesn't matter how much the kids can be like, no, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. Obviously, you're lying. I know that it was you.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's hilarious. That is one of my favorite stories
So-
of all time.
Yeah, and it's funny because if you go to the Facebook page for St. Aloysius alumni,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they all talk about it here and there about it. You remember Sir Bangare and his you know?
Huh.
So, yeah.
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
I love that. I wish we had time for more of those stories.
I know.
Maybe on another episode. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, if you want to send in your questions for lightning round questions, make sure you do that by texting them to 252-582-5028. Or you can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. And don't forget, you can partner with us financially on that same website. Every gift that you give goes to building up countless other ministries and furthering the reach of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Can we end with a quote? Is that okay? So I have a quote here. I love this because it relates, when we get to know people, it helps us to further that love that we have for one another. I feel like we've gotten to know you a little bit better on this show.
Right.
John and I already know you pretty well, but just kind of hearing you talk about that, it makes us love you even more. What does love look like? It has the hands to help others. It has the feet to hasten to the poor and needy. It has eyes to see misery and want. It has the ears to hear the sighs and sorrows of men. That is what love looks like. And that's from St. Augustine.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Very nice.
Beautiful. Love it.
We love you guys. We'll see you next time on Clearview Today.